Hi, this is From Ideology to Unity. So, I just had an idea, and it's about Pandora's box. So, we all are used to the typical interpretation or Pandora's box. And that interpretation is that, well, the box was opened by Pandora. She was inquisitive and she opened the box, and all this negativity came out, all this fear, all this anger, this hate, and all these negative, terrible things, disease, all the terrible, tragic things in life, basically, right? And the last thing that came out was hope, and it's okay. We've got all these negative things in life, but we've got hope. And that makes it all worthwhile. There's another way of looking at it, right? What if all that stuff is caused by hope? And be like, why? Well, hope's a good thing, isn't it? Well, what if hope is not being present, focusing on wishing for things to be better in the future, but not actually accepting the present, and sort of dreaming of a better day in the future as a way of coping with the pain and the suffering that comes from basically not being present? Because obviously, if you're not present, that's where the root of suffering comes from. It's the presence, is that moment, the now. That's where the depth of love and joy and abundance comes from, because the I am observer presence that you are is in the moment. The future and the past are illusion, the maya, in a sense, often thinking about the past or the future, So, yeah, a completely different interpretation of Pandora's box is that the opening of Pandora's box was actually the fall of humanity, in a sense, away from the state we were in, a higher frequency in around the time of the Atlantis, or maybe earlier, but we had a fall into ego, essentially, right? And that was the opening of Pandora's box. And hope, in a sense, perhaps it's, or maybe in a looser sense, maybe instead of looking at historically, we can simply look at it on a psychological level. It's hope of the future and dwelling in the future, well, also the past, but let's not, well, it's all, honestly, now you think about it, the future and the past are one. It's all one, right? Time is an illusion. But there's being present and there's not being present. There's not being present in the past, not being present in the future. But if present and future are one, then basically there's presence and illusion. And past and future are the illusion, right? So basically it applies to the future and the past. Hope, in a sense. Because if you're hoping that, hoping that it was better, I'm not sure if that applies, but the general principle is not being present. And that is where all this suffering comes through. Though it's a bit different, isn't it? Because it's like she opened it and it came from within, but it wasn't in the world. I admit that my way of this way I'm presenting of interpreting it is just one way of doing it. Obviously, it could be it's within the psyche to begin with, or maybe not. It depends how we look at it, the symbology here, but it's worth considering, isn't it? Flipping something on its head and looking at a new light. Anyway, that's all I have to say right now. So, well, Have a nice day and bye for now.